Oh, look, nothing to see here. Just a bunch of Islamists swarming the streets, calling for more terror attacks in celebration of October 7th. By the way, that's not Gaza. That's right here in New York City.
We must show up! We must show up! Stronger than we did the first October 7th! Louder than we did the first October 7th!
Well, the Islamic takeover of America is not coming. It's here right now. And we are exposing the dangers. It starts right now. Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. I am back. I had such a wonderful time at Lubbock, at Cook's Garage over there with Turning Point USA chapter of Texas Tech. They were wonderful and lovely, and it was very inspiring to see all of those young people. But I'm happy to be back in studio. Not happy to see what's happening on the streets of New York, because this is something that I keep sounding the alarm on, and I feel like nobody wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to stick their heads in the sand when it comes to the Islamification of America. And then you have October 7th that rolled around. You have the anniversary of a horrific attack on innocent people in Israel. And you have, in celebration of that, people actively taking to the streets, calling for terror attacks here in America, which is what I keep telling you guys. You think that it's just, oh, they just have a problem with Israel. No, they're coming for us as well. You've all these people waving Islamic Palestinian flags, swarming outside of Fox News, of all places, in New York City yesterday. It's very hard to believe that we have allowed ourselves to be put in the position that this is what's happening in America. And if that isn't enough to worry you, I want you to listen to exactly what they were calling for yesterday.
We did not act enough! We did not act enough! If we acted enough! The headline behind me would read, Gaza has been liberated. So our work is not done! We must show up! Stronger than we did the first October 7th!
What?
Louder than we did the first October 7th! Clear that we are not going anywhere. We will keep fighting until Palestine is free.
Now, you could say, if he hadn't have referenced October 7th, stronger than the first October 7th, you could say he's just making a benign statement. No, actually, this is clearly a terroristic threat. This is clearly a terroristic threat. And my opinion, I would hope that Pam Bondi and Donald Trump share that same opinion. You should not be allowed to come into my country and spew terroristic threats and not expect to get denaturalized and deported. Now, when you consider the state of New York City, which is, of course, where all of this was, approximately 9% of New York City residents are Muslim. So when you consider that this is a city of 8.4 million people, that comes out to be like 750,000 Muslims. Guys, we're almost to the point where we can't put the genie back in the bottle. I think it's time that we start talking about this and stop being afraid to hurt people's feelings. Especially when you talk about how they are infiltrating at the highest levels, how it is a fact that we have a Muslim Democrat socialist, which don't get me started on how that all works, Zohran Mamdani, who is about to win the mayoral race in New York City in November. I mean, there's basically no way he doesn't win. And I don't want you guys coming at me. Check this out. I don't want you guys coming at me, looking at that and being like, well, you should be talking more about Curtis Sliwa. Well, he still has a chance. I don't think so. You got Mamdani at 47%, Andrew Cuomo as an independent at 29%, Eric Adams at 7%. And so this was the last poll before Eric Adams dropped out. So take that 7 away, add it to disperse it between Mamdani and Cuomo. And then you've got Curtis Sliwa coming in at 11%. I'm sorry. It is my hope. It is my greatest hope that Mamdani does not clench this. I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how that's possible. So now we're talking about someone like that guy becoming the mayor of New York City. And the problem is that the tenets of Islam, the tenets of their holy book, completely contradict the tenets of this country and the tenets that this country was founded on. They're not compatible with one another. And it should not be controversial to say that. Great example of that. Yesterday, Mamdani marked October 7th, taking aim at Israel rather than Hamas. He had this statement. It was one sentence mourning all of the victims of Hamas and then 3 paragraphs attacking Israel. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like those women and those children really didn't do anything to deserve being murdered in their beds, to deserve being tortured and beaten, and all of the hostages that were held hostage for, what is it now, guys? 2 years? I don't know. I think maybe they deserved a little bit better than one sentence mourning them followed by 3 paragraphs attacking Israel. So at least you have some Republicans. There are very few. There are a very select few who will actually call this what this is. One of whom is Randy Fine, who he's calling for Mamdani to be stripped of his citizenship because he's little more than a Muslim terrorist and should be deported. Mamdani has accepted tens of thousands in donations from the Council on American Islamic Relations. Now that is the same, if you do the CAIR. Oh, it's CARE. Yeah, that group with reported ties to terrorist organizations. It's just that same CARE that he's accepted all of this money from. And his funding from CARE affiliated donors has, of course, is accompanied by fueled claims of Islamic insurgency. And there are also reports alleging that he funnels campaign money to radical allies aiming to, quote, seize state power. I don't know what it's going to take for all of these. It's mostly like white liberals who want to sit here and tell you why it's racist or xenophobic or mostly Islamophobic to say that just because of the color of his skin, you're calling for him to be deported. No, it's actually has nothing to do with the color of his skin. And if you, as a white person, say that you have allegiance to, Hamas and Islam, I think you should leave too. It's dangerous for this country, and we shouldn't tolerate it anymore. It's not like we don't have the blueprint of what's happening right now in the UK, because we do. And when you look at the case of New York actually has the most mosques compared to any other state. It's 343, followed by California, 304, Texas at 224. Texas and Florida are 3rd and 4th place, followed by New Jersey. Texas and Florida are 3rd and 4th place for states with the most mosques, at least back from 2020, which is the most recent that we could find. Guys, this is all by design. This is all intentional, okay? Now, I've been doing some exposés on this, in particular here in the state of Texas, that, we've got not just the epic city right there that you can see, but there is a new one that I know. We heard that Governor Abbott was putting a stop to it. Well, tell me why in Murphy, Texas, the sleepy little town of Murphy, Texas, you've got all of these neighborhoods, or at least one in particular, that have all of these Islamic names for the streets. And this Islamic Association of Murphy is bulldozing homes to create a mosque that is comparable to the biggest mosque in DFW. And Texas is not even the worst of it, right? But if it's happening in Texas, it's happening everywhere, which means that's why Michigan looks the way that it does. This is Dearborn, Michigan. This is not Iran. This is not anywhere in the Middle East. This is not Turkey. This is Dearborn, Michigan, the largest Muslim population in the United States. 55% of people there are Muslim. You don't think it's a takeover yet? They hold the majority in Michigan, which is why it looks like a shithole third world country. It basically is. So it's not just Dearborn. You've got Minneapolis, you've got New York, you've got New Jersey, you've got Texas, you've got Florida. Everywhere this mass resettlement happens, you have culture shifts that follow. And you'll notice that the request to assimilate is only given to Americans. Americans are the only ones who are expected to just give up their traditions, to just cede all of this ground for fear you might be called an Islamophobe. Okay, and what are they going to do? Blow me up with a suicide belt? I mean, that's kind of the problem that I had with them in the first place. So you'd just be proving my point. There are very few. We're trying to get Brandon Gill on the show because I will give a shout out to Brandon Gill. He is my congressman, and he is one of the few. I mentioned Randy Fine. Brandon Gill has also been very vocal about not tolerating this anymore. It's not personal. We just can't tolerate it as a nation. We can't tolerate it as a country anymore. And people need to stop being so scared and start speaking out about it. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.